Welcome back, friends. Today's episode is going to take us into a fascinating and often overlooked corner of peptide therapy. Now, you may not even know what peptide therapy is, but this is using small chains of amino acids to enhance a lot of different things in the body. One of the things that has been currently out there in the news is that peptide therapies can enhance sexual pleasure and desire. That's right. Today, I'm going to be talking about sex. I'm going to be talking about PT141 and Kisspeptin and their potential in the pursuit of better orgasms and deeper intimacy between you and your partner. So, let's start out with PT141. This is also known as Bremelanotide, or it has a brand name of Vyleesi. It was, believe it or not, originally a tanning agent that's now gone off script, and researchers have discovered that it has the ability to stimulate melanocortin receptors in the brain that are associated with sexual desire. It actually has an FDA-approved hypoactive sexual desire disorder medication that can be used in premenopausal women. This is really one of the only medications that is in this realm. The sexual pleasure of women has really been neglected by the medical community, and it has not been addressed with the development of medications. So this is a really big deal that we have a medication that can make you have more sexual desire as well as sexual pleasure. So we're talking about wanting sex and then getting orgasms from sex. So it's really a cool peptide because it is so new and cutting edge. So there can be some side effects always because that's medications. So users of this med often report that they get some nausea and some flushing after taking it, but many experience a surge in desire very, very soon after. One doctor has shared in an article that you might feel a little yucky at first, but then you're going to feel really sexy. So that sounds super fun. So for safety and consistency, experts recommend that you avoid unregulated sprays. There are sprays going around on Amazon because everything is available on Amazon these days, and instead only source from compounding pharmacies that have licenses to create these medications. So obviously this is not a drug per se because it has to be from a compounding pharmacy, but it is an FDA-approved agent that is, it's a drug. Isn't it not a drug? We don't know. There's gray areas in what can be made in compounding pharmacies. So PT141 is just the beginning of this story. There is also Kisspeptin. So Kisspeptin is a neuropeptide, and it's a neuropeptide that was originally discovered in cancer research, and it was discovered decades ago. And researchers later stumbled upon another role that it might amplify sexual desire. We're doing some clinical studies right now, and Kisspeptin has been found to activate brain regions that are tied to arousal and romantic love. And they quiet, this is really cool, they quiet the areas that are linked to guilt and self-consciousness. And so in one double-blind breakthrough study, premenopausal women with HSDD were injected with Kisspeptin and shown erotic stimuli. So they were shown, some sexy little images. And the results are that their brain lit up in all the right places that arousal takes place, while all the negative internal chatter really kind of dimmed down. So it activated the right parts of the brain and shut down the kind of wrong parts of the brain, just the areas that are not related to arousal. For men, in a separate randomized control trial, they found similar findings, which is also very interesting that the medication works in both men and women. So the Kisspeptin administration in the study significantly impacted key brain structures involved in our sexual response. It also had an increased penile tumescence by up to 56%, and boosted measures of sexual desire and satisfaction. These developments are really cool because everybody wants to have good sex and good intimacy, but we have to pause and obviously keep everything in perspective. Peptides like the PT141 and the Kisspeptin have immense promise as new tools for enhancing sexual health. But that said, emotional intimacy, cultural context, and psychological nuances still play a central role in the full experience of pleasure. So experts caution that peptides, powerful as they may be, should support an actual connection between you and your partner and not replace the hard work of being in a relationship. So where does that leave us? Well, PT141 offers clinically approved option for women struggling with desire, and Kisspeptin is breaking new ground in neurobehavioral research for both women and men. As any biohacker, clinician, or curious listeners should remind themselves, the mind is part of the body, and the connection is more than just chemistry. So that's our conversation for today. Next time we can explore how peptides are being studied for pain modulation or hormone regulation. You guys tell me what you want to hear next time. Until then, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and stay right where you are. Take care of the whole you. Thanks for listening. This was the Lindsey Elmore Show.